Hi, everyone. So, my name is Lauren, and I am a wellness associate with Geisinger. And today I am going to be talking about optimizing your wellness and some resources to improve your overall work from home experience. So, first, we do have to read this disclaimer. So, exercise is not without its risks. So, individuals, especially those with pre existing conditions or past injuries, should consult with their healthcare provider before beginning an exercise program. If at any point while exercising you feel faint, dizzy, or experience any pain or physical discomfort, you should stop immediately and consult a healthcare provider. So, content provided is for informational purposes only. It's not intended to be medical advice, and we do ask that you consult your healthcare provider with any questions. So, today we have on our agenda some general wellness tips. We're going to talk about stretching and exercises at home, stress management, isolation, optimizing your work environment, and some additional resources to having a healthy workspace and good work-life balance. So there has been a major change in the workforce. So the pandemic forced a shift to work remotely, which is here to stay in some form. So the percent of home-based workers has more than tripled. So currently, about 1/3 of workers with jobs that can be done remotely are working from home full time. And 41% of those work a hybrid schedule where some work from home, some days, and then they work in the office or the job site on other days. So there can be some challenges presented due to this. So it's important to know the challenges of working from home so that you can better prepare for them. So working from home definitely can be a challenge and it may require some adjustments. So challenges can include difficulty with unplugging after work hours, finding that work-life balance, struggling with isolation, struggling to establish a routine, and reducing distractions. Some other difficulties could include problems with collaborating or communicating with colleagues, maybe lack of motivation, um, maintaining work productivity in unsuitable spaces alongside things like kids or even pets, because we know pets can interfere as well, and Zoom fatigue, which is known as a phenomenon of emotional and physical drain caused by video conferencing. So we want to be able to combat this. So we do have some general wellness tips to kind of help us with these challenges that we face when working from home. So, the first suggestion that we have is to make healthy food choices. So, healthy eating can definitely be challenging due to being in close proximity to the kitchen and food being readily available at all times. So, working from home makes it much easier to go into the kitchen and mindlessly grab a snack, even if you may not be hungry. So we want to make sure that we're planning ahead and following action steps because they can be helpful in making healthy food choices. So try establishing a routine, making sure you're eating when hungry, don't work in or near your kitchen, plan snack and meal times, drink plenty of water, focus on balanced, nutritious foods, and avoid having too much caffeine. So these action steps can definitely be helpful in making healthy food choices, and we want to avoid the urge to eat just because food is available. So before you reach for a snack, try asking yourself, why am I eating? And again, establishing a routine can help with making healthy choices. So we do have a true or false question here. So the question is, creating a dedicated workspace and establishing a routine are beneficial when working from home. True or false? Take a second to think. All right, and I'm going to move to the next slide to reveal the answer. So if you guessed true, that is correct. So creating a dedicated workspace and establishing a routine are two important aspects of creating a healthy workspace. So a dedicated workspace is going to help keep you focused and be very beneficial for you. So It is important to create a healthy workspace. So you want to have a dedicated workspace and boundaries. So try avoiding working in spaces that are used for relaxing time or family time. Try having a dedicated time for lunch to step away from your computer. Fill your workspace with things you enjoy that cultivate positive emotions. Set a routine, so try waking up at the same time every day, getting ready just as you would before getting into the office, and taking breaks if work allows. Getting up and moving, so set regular reminders to get up and stretch and move around. Use time before work that you would have used as a commute to go for a walk around the block. And making sure that you are using good communication skills, because communication is key. So making sure that you're communicating with your supervisor. So working from home may be a huge adjustment for you, and making sure you're communicating with your coworkers, especially if you have kids or loud pets that may be heard in the background. So, having a work life balance can be a struggle, but it is important. So, people with a healthy work life balance tend to have better mental and physical well being. Achieving that balance is also linked to less burnout, better engagement, reduced stress, and higher productivity. It's important to stay connected, maybe have some office fun with your coworker, whether it's a meeting or meeting up. That's going to help everyone stay connected and build personal connections. Try going on a vacation. So, days away work, whether it's a staycation or a glorious time away, it's going to help you to recharge. And making sure that you're taking a break. So, regular breaks are necessary to help you stay productive and engaged in your work. And make sure that you're making yourself a priority. So, doing something that brings you joy. So the next topic we're going to discuss is stretching at home. So stretching is important because it keeps the muscles flexible, strong, and healthy. So a 5 to 10 minute break and even 1 to 2 minute micro breaks can recharge your mind and prevent chronic pain. So it's important to take a break from prolonged sitting every 30 minutes. So after sitting for an extended amount of time, our muscles in the back become tight from pressure, muscles in the neck become tense and tight, and shoulder muscles are strained, and also knee and hip pain may also develop. So this stretching can reduce tension and tightness in muscles, improve posture, reduce muscle soreness and pain, and boost your overall wellness as well. So we do have a couple stretches that we're going to discuss. So first is the neck stretch. So that you want to start with your head in a comfortable aligned position. You're going to slowly tilt your head to the left side to stretch the muscles in the side of your neck. Hold it for 10 to 20 seconds. Feel a good even stretch without overstretching. And then you'll go and tilt your head to the right side and stretch again and hold it for 10 to 20 seconds. And you'll do this 2 to 3 times for each side. So this stretch can help improve posture and reduce tension and stiffness in the neck. And a lot of tension is typically held in our neck and shoulders. So this is a great exercise for that. Next, we have the shoulder or back stretch. So for this exercise, you will use a towel, bag, or jacket. You'll grasp one end over the head and one end behind the back. You'll pull the arm up over the head while keeping the lower arm in place. You'll hold for 15 to 20 seconds. And then you'll release and repeat with your hands reversed. So, excuse me, this shoulder stretch is an exercise that stretches the anterior, or rather known as the front part of your shoulder. So again, we hold a lot of tension in our neck and shoulders, and this stretch is going to help those muscles to relieve tension and discomfort. So it is important to get moving, right? So sitting for long periods at a desk or computer can absolutely cause tense muscles and pain. So we're going to talk about some exercises to reduce discomfort. And for each exercise, you want to try to complete 8 to 20 repetitions of each movement, or even challenge yourself by doing more. So these exercises we're going to discuss, you can perform them anywhere, no equipment needed, and doing 1 or 2 is a great way to move during the workday, and the moves can be combined to create a strength workout. So being physically active is one of the most important actions people can take to maintain or improve their health. So the first exercise is walking lunges. So the muscle areas that this exercise works are your quads, hamstrings, and glutes. So with this exercise, you'll start with your legs together and hands on your hips. You'll keep your back straight and your chest up. Choose one point on the wall to look at to maintain posture and balance. You'll step forward with one leg and bend the front knee to a 90-degree angle, and make sure your forward knee is directly in line with your ankle. You'll place weight on your front leg as you pull the back leg up to bring your legs back together again. So you're repeating this motion with the opposite leg, so you are lunging forward. So those are walking lunges. And next we have desk or wall push-ups. So the muscle areas that this exercise works are your chest, triceps, and front of shoulders. So you want to make sure your desk or wall is stable enough to support your weight. You'll stand facing your desk or wall with your legs spread no wider than your hips and place your hands on the desk or wall. You'll engage your core and glutes to stay as straight as possible without letting your hips sag or bend at the waist. You'll slowly lower yourself until your chest is about 1 inch from the desk or wall and slowly push yourself back up. So walking lunges and desk wall push-ups are just 2 examples of exercises you can do at home. There's also so many more exercises on YouTube or other reputable resources. So it is important that we are fitting in activity. So we want to start with slow and small, easily attainable goals, and just trying to fit in activity where we can. So you could try walking around the room or taking a walking meeting outdoors, which walking meetings may require approval from your supervisor. You can use breaks to exercise, so it's important to get out of your chair to stretch or walk around. You can find ways throughout the day to take breaks and fit in exercise or stretch when possible. So a good example is setting a timer every hour, because that can be a great way to remind yourself to get up and move. And fitness trackers can also help track and remind you to get up and move as well. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about stress management. So before we dive into this, we do have another true or false question. So the question is, when feeling stressed, it's best to push yourself harder and get your work done. Take a moment and think about this question, and then I will reveal the answer. So if you thought it was false, you are correct. So taking breaks, exercising and stretching, and spending time outdoors are all healthy ways to help manage stress. So taking just a 5 to 10-minute break to stretch or take a walk outdoors can help you refocus and help reduce tension and stress. So when we are talking a little bit about stress, we want to remember that stress is an inevitable part of life and we can't always prevent it. So we do need to learn different ways to reduce it. So when working from home, the lines between work and home can get blurred. And studies do find when working at home, people often spend more time in meetings, may work longer days, and have a fragmented focus time. So there are some struggles that come with working at home. So it may include having to attend to personal and family needs, managing a different workload, lack of access to tools and equipment, feelings of not contributing enough, learning new communication tools, and maybe even technical difficulties. We want to try our best to maintain healthy habits. So we want to try and exercise as often as we can, try eating a healthy diet, get plenty of rest, try connecting with others through phone calls, keeping a set routine, and setting good boundaries. And we also want to try and spend 30 minutes or so outside in the daylight or a light indoor area. Try detaching at the end of the day, and making sure we're getting enough sleep, so 7 to 8 hours a night. So there are some good techniques for reducing stress. So again, like I said, stress is an inevitable part of life and we can't always prevent it, so we got to learn ways to reduce it. So some examples of how to do that include a body scan, deep breathing techniques, guided imagery, which there's so many of those on YouTube, and progressive muscle relaxation as well, where you're tensing a certain muscle group and then slowly relaxing it. So Geisinger does offer several mindfulness resources. So mindfulness is another way to help manage stress. So mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. Mindfulness can help reduce stress, improve mental well-being, and enhance focus and self-awareness. Mindfulness helps relax the mind and body by creating a greater sense of calm, clarity, and focus. So, Geisinger Health and Wellness does host Mindful Mondays every Monday at 12:15, and you can join by accessing the link go.geisinger.org/mindful Mondays. There's also something called Meditation Minis podcasts. It's one of the most popular podcasts in the world, and it features a different 10-minute guided meditation every week. And you could also look for self-guided meditation scripts or recorded sessions to try at your desk or incorporate as a team meeting. And you could always visit go.geisinger.org/wellness calendar for wellness events. And like I said, the mindfulness exercises. So there's many ways to practice mindfulness, and the more you practice it, the more routine it is going to become. So we are going to next talk about tackling feelings of isolation. So feelings of isolation are common when working remotely, especially initially when switching from office setting to working from home. So we have another true or false question. So true or false? Feelings of isolation are unavoidable when working from home. True or false? All right, I'm going to reveal the answer. That is false. So, although feelings of isolation are common when working from home, especially after the initial switch from an office setting, there are ways to combat those feelings. So, loneliness is an emotional response to a lack of connection, which is different from isolation. So, employees dealing with isolation at work can't get the materials or the information they need, may feel their achievements are ignored, and feel cut off from the business. So, isolation isn't an emotional issue, it's a technical one. So, loneliness can in turn contribute to isolation and vice versa. So it's always important to talk to your manager about how you're feeling. So as you can see here, lack of access, unable to get needed information, feeling achievements are ignored, and feeling cut off from the business can lead to isolation. So there are some tips to reduce feelings of isolation. So again, isolation and loneliness are different, but they can fuel each other. So it's important to make an effort to stay connected to others. Working from home can cause you to lose the social connection you had by being in an office, and you may feel cut off from others. So communication by video conference, Zoom, or phone calls instead of emails or IMs can help with reducing feelings of isolation. And always let your supervisor know if you need additional resources or assistance with technology. And it's important to recognize your feelings of loneliness or isolation and address them. And if you do feel lonely, whether or not because you may feel isolated, it might be time to speak with a healthcare professional. So we want to make sure that we are optimizing our work environment. This is also known as ergonomics, which is fitting a job to a person. So it helps lessen muscle fatigue, increase productivity, and reduce the number and severity of work-related MSDs, which stands for musculoskeletal disorders. And MSDs affect the muscles, nerves, blood vessels, and ligaments and tendons. So work-related MSDs are among the most frequently reported cause of lost or restricted work time. So those include things like rotator cuff injuries, trigger finger, carpal tunnel syndrome, muscle strains and low back injuries, tendonitis, things like that. So when it comes to seating, in general, we want to avoid working on a couch or a soft chair. If you have no other option, use pillows to provide some back support and work in an upright position. If your feet aren't flat on the floor, use a box or a book as a footrest. And ideally, a primary seated posture should support the low back in a position of lordosis, which is the natural inward curvature of the lumbar spine above the pelvis. So we want our hips and knees at a slightly greater than 90-degree angle. And there are ways to devise a lumbar support pad or a roll that can be attached to the back of an ordinary chair. So the next thing that we'll talk about is the keyboard or mouse. So if you do have a keyboard or mouse, you want to make sure that you are maintaining a neutral wrist posture, which is shown in the picture. When using a keyboard, the wrist should be as close to neutral or straight as possible, and the elbow should be at a 90 to 120-degree angle. You want to avoid resting the forearms and wrists on unpadded cornered edges of the work surface. And when it comes to our monitor or display, an external monitor is one that's separate from your laptop and it's more ideal for display. So an external monitor should be placed about an arm's length away. The top of the monitor should be at or below eye level. You want to position your display perpendicular to any windows and adjust blinds to help reduce glare if needed and take frequent breaks from screen use. So eye strain can definitely be caused from prolonged screen use. So working from home could increase the hours of screen time. So we want to make sure that we're taking regular breaks from screen use, including tablets and cell phones, working in areas with less glare from outside light, understanding how to adjust your display brightness and contrast to reduce eye strain, and considering how to enlarge the font to avoid squinting, leaning forward, or placing the laptop closer. And you could always try the 20-20-20 rule to help combat eye fatigue. So this is focusing your gaze on an object 20 feet away for 20 seconds every 20 minutes. So we do have some available resources that we are going to discuss. So these are tools to help you stay connected, active, and healthy while working from home. So there is the online wellness portal. So your online wellness portal has a vast library of education materials and tools to help you stay healthy and active. And the wellness app can be installed on your phone for wellness at your fingertips. So it does include great things like the health assessment, wellness challenges, behavior change tools, education resources, and personal health record. So this is a great tool to help you be your healthiest self from anywhere at any time, and it is a great resource to access when working from home. There is also the Wellness Resource Hub, which is on your online wellness portal. So it does generate a bunch of great resources within the Resource Hub. So you can register for things like monthly wellness emails, sign up for challenges, webisodes, classes, and so much more. And the wellness portal allows you to choose your interests and focus to gain valuable education and support. So this is for Geisinger Health Plan members only. So you'll want to visit geisingerhealthplan.com and go to select account to log in as a member. You'll hover over the health and wellness tab and click on wellness online, and you can always call our team with any questions. So that is for Geisinger Health Plan members only. But if you're a part of an employer wellness program with access to wellness online, but not a Geisinger member, you can log in using wellness.geisinger.edu. Here are our references. And here is the link to our quarterly wellness calendar. Thank you all for joining me today.